so you catch me again at the Downs on what is getting colder and colder by the day. I'm here to do a video about the new project car that a lot of you have already seen, so there's no point doing like a little release because it's already here. But I'm just going to explain why I bought it, a little bit about it, and what the kind of plans are with it really. So guys, it all began when the Peugeot decided to run away. I didn't think it was worth the effort to take the turbo off, do a new turbo on it, subframe out, etc. It was going to be a very costly job, and it wasn't really worth it for the mileage the car was on. So that's where that ended. Where this began was the idea of looking for another car. Again, I've always liked something different, I've always wanted to be different, and I couldn't really find anything really. I was scouring on the internet for days, eBay, Auto Trader, you name it, the lot, I couldn't find anything. But then, this car, the Mazda, came up, I think it was on Facebook Marketplace actually, which I will say is probably the best place to look for cars now, to be fair. Although be careful, because there's debatable cars on there as well. But that was where I found it, and I fell in love with it really. To be honest with you guys, I bought it a while ago, and it definitely looked different from when I bought it to now. But here it is now, in the most recent video update there. And I'll run through with you what I've done to it. Yeah, to be fair, I just thought I'd mention before I run through what I've done to it, mention what it actually is. So, if you didn't know, this is a Mazda 6 Sport Tourer. So it is a beautiful estate. Yep, try to walk backwards and record. Ain't working too well. But that there is a Mazda 6 estate. This is a 2.2. Out of the factory, 2.2 diesel that is, out of the factory mine was a 180. They do, I think it's maybe 5 or 6 different powered variants running from 140 brake up to 285, so I think mine was the 180, so it's like the one below, you know, it's like 5 horsepower off the top. The engine's the same, but obviously it's matched differently for those different performance derivatives. Mine's a sport as well, so it's got some of the sporty goodies on there, and I don't know whether mine's got lots of extra spec on it, or whether that is just the sport spec I've got on mine, because it is pretty specced up, which again, I'll run through with you in a bit. So I don't actually know, I don't really know the Mazda too well. Like I said, it kind of sprung upon me, saw it on Facebook, didn't really read much into it like you do when you do stupid stuff like this. Bought it, and then I'm kind of investigating and learning things as I go really. So here is the car, guys. When I bought it, the windows weren't wrapped up on those white, kind of going for a van look on that. The car did, as you can see, it was de-wipered, and it was literally doing my head in at night and things, getting water and dirt residue on the back window, and I could not be asked to deal with that. So I decided if I broke the window over, I can actually see through it. So that's why I did that. I just like the look. I think it's cool. I think it's different, and I think it suits the car. Everyone has their own opinions, of course. I'm halfway in the process of my little sticker collection on here. Let's see. We have got a lovely dent in here, which is hidden. That is the dent there, Mr. Dent. Potentially, I don't know what I'm going to do with the boot yet. It's pretty rusty in places. This is the Japanese part of it. You can see we've got a little bit there, look, and there's some hidden underneath the plate. So potentially, might get another boot lid. We will see. What else have I done? So I put the sports badge on there and painted it gold. Obviously, gold. Gold. The most obvious improvement is the exhaust, which will be in another video. So originally it had a small, like 2.5, 3-inch tip. So I've now got 2 5s, which look really, really good. Like so. There we go, look. That's nice. We've also got the rear lips, which don't actually 100% fit the back of this car. I've just realised. So they don't look the best, but they're better than nothing, of course. They're obviously made for the sedan. They don't actually fit completely, as you can see. There's a little bit short. But it's either them or no lips. So to go with the setup, it was what was needed really. So guys, if you do buy the MAZDA kit for your Mazda 6 Tourer like me, just be aware that the rear lips aren't long enough. I have researched into this. They're for the sedan, which obviously will have, I guess, has a slightly shorter rear bumper, rear end. So for that reason, they don't actually fit properly. So just bear that in mind. The side skirts fit, so do the front ones, but the rear, they don't actually do a rear spoiler lip for this one, which is sad really. But my aim is to do something with that spoiler at some point anyway. And on to the side. a very big side, in fact. Obviously going on with the continuation of the white window. Also had it de-chromed all around here, which is looking very, very nice. Tints came out of the factory on the rear. Wind deflectors as well, obviously, I've put on. Mirrors have been painted. Managed to redo these the other day. They're a bit better. Not the best, but they do. Got some nice aftermarket LED indicators on there as well. And obviously to supplement the look, and to also make the car stupidly low off the ground. I'm not even joking, it is just stupid. We've got the MAZDA side skirt lip as well, but you can literally see we are literally touching the ground. Also, one really big thing you say to me, well, two big things, one thing I haven't even mentioned yet, is the car came on, I think, some sort of lowering springs. Goodness knows what lowering springs, because they are low, but I'm static at this height and I'm loving every minute of it, so I can't really complain. But I would assume 50 or 60 mil springs. Goodness knows what they are, but it's sat at a nice height. Would I invest in coilovers? Probably not for this, because the springs give the look it needs, and to be honest, it's never going to be a race car, so they're not really ever going to be needed, really. And also, obviously in front of me again, I'm saying Lewis, the biggest obvious thing are these bowlers. I think they are, I'm not going to say what they are because I don't know exactly. I think they might be B10s, I can't remember. These came on the car, they're originally white, and they came with a lot of curb. A lot of curb. I mean, I might as well just had the curb attached to the wheel, because it was literally ravaged. They have been very recently resprayed in gold, which was a daring move, but I'm going with the Be Different plan, so it's working so far. They've got a few stone chips and things here and there, but they're looking not too bad. So they did come with the car, and the car was lowered. The car was higher originally on the front. It came with a pair of rubber bungs that we managed to find in the springs, so we've taken them out, and we're now dropped to what is actually a pretty good height and stance, really, for a static car, for good old me. It's kind of, I would assume, say, my first kind of stance car, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty stanced out. We've got these signature leaking headlights. I do need to take the front bumper off this yet. I still haven't since owning it. I need to do that for multiple reasons, but we'll do a video on that. Nothing bad, but it's just worth getting the front lid off and seeing what's going on. I've got some eyelids on there. The classic go-to 17-year-old modify a car modification. Got the MAZDA front lip on the front here. Just get a nice cinematic sweep. Just seems to collect more leaves than anything else, to be honest, but that is on there as well. And this is the sports bumper, I think, with the sports front badge, which I've obviously sprayed in gold, and I'll be looking to potentially change out for an aftermarket one at some point as well, with the old jack plate suit. And that is our, pretty much, our whistle stop tour. Obviously we've got ourselves a lovely sun strip. It says send it, you can't. And then just the roof bars, which are the stock chromey silver, which will be changing colour inevitably at some point. So that is the car itself. I'm going to demonstrate how low we are. This isn't even ground, of course, but that there is the front. That is a fist, no joke. It's pretty dirty in here, but this comes with a full spec leather interior, full leather interior. Got front electric heated seats, memory, which are lovely. Steering wheel that's got more buttons than an old Nokia phone, and it's just a very comfortable cabin to be in, really. Really nice interior, guys. This one's got the 6 CD changer and the Bose system, highlighted by Bose on the doors. Look, so I've got like a little sub in the boot as well, which is lovely. And then over here, don't worry, that's not all my lights on the dash. Just ignition. There we go. Look, the only signs of wear and tear inside this interior are in fact the steering wheel. Steering wheel, you might be able to see it very well, it's a bit worn out, especially on this side here, it's a bit worn. But apart from that, you wouldn't think any different. Modern here is my little carbon fibre wrapped gear knob. That's about it. This one, just to mention, has the, I don't know what RVM stands for, but that basically is the blind spot locator. So when you're near a car, that lights up and bleeps, which is quite a nice feature. So has a little boost gauge as well. Ooh. Yes, this car obviously has cruise control, parking sensors front and rear. It's got loads of other different things, but I'll be doing an in-depth conversation into the car and what's involved with that. So I'm going to be doing a review video as well for you guys looking for a cheap daily runaround, because this is definitely one of those. So what are the future plans for the Mazda? To be honest, not a lot really. It's just going to be, we hope, sensible, not really sensible, but it's just going to be a nice a daily drive, really comfortable, spacious, practical, basically a mixture of everything. Performance is still pretty good. I haven't actually mentioned performance, so get onto that now. So mine was 180 out of the factory. Like I said, they basically range from 140. The 2.2 diesels range from 140 brake to 185 brake, depending on, I don't know what that really depends on, really. Maybe trim, I guess, I don't really know. Anyway, mine was 180 out the factory, but we're now looking at, again, I haven't confirmed, so it's one of those, you know, rocking out your fake numbers here, but I've been told by the previous owner who had this stuff done to it that it's 230 brake and about 580 newton meters, which is definitely noticeable. The car does drive really well. It does pull pretty hard, considering I don't know the weight. I would assume maybe 1.5, 1.6 ton. Considering the weight of the car, it does go really well. Handling is, you know, not going to be as good as what I've come from. A French hatchback is not going to be good. It's not going to feel as good, obviously. It's only on springs as well. But where credit's due, it is very stable, very comfortable, and with the springs on there, apart from it being about as flexible as a banana, it's ridiculous how much wobble there is in this, but that's because of the springs. Apart from the amount of room and the amount of travel it's got on the suspension, it handles okay. For a big car like that, I'm not disappointed. So it also, obviously mine's not a stock exhaust system, of course, so it does sound rather interesting on boost. Again, I'll do a separate video showing you guys how it sounds, how it goes, but it's just different. It's just a really cool, different car. It's just versatile in so many ways as well, and ownership so far has been pretty stress-free. So stress-free, I mean, it always is with cars, but it's been pretty stress-free, yeah. So all I've had to replace so far has been a C's caliper, which we've done. I've actually currently, it's just because it seems to be one thing after another at the moment, but it's just one of these things. We've had the C's caliper, and I think the damage the C's caliper has caused with heat and things like that has also made the wheel bearing go. So the wheel bearing is on its way out on that side as well, so that's due to be done next week. The fuel filter got blocked, so I've done that, and I'm doing the injector seals and the injectors next week, just for my own mind. And equally to that as well, I've taken off the sump, and I've drained out the gauze as well, so we're gonna have no problems with it all strainer issues like you normally get. Again, I'll do a video on that explaining how that all works and things like that anyway. But there we go, that's pretty much it. It's been so, just to mention as well, I forgot to say with the whole performance things as well, this car's a DPF delete, still got the cat, but is straight through. It's got a bigger intercooler than the stock, and obviously it's mapped, so that's why it's got the power gains it has. And the EGR is deleted and blanked, and the DPS obviously deleted off there as well, because they're, again, which is something I'll touch upon on another video, the DPFs on these cars are a nightmare. I mean, they can lead to total destruction of the entire engine, so that'll be another video we'll talk about, but that is all done, so I don't have any worries about that either. So thank you very much for watching this long-awaited video. Hopefully you guys know a little bit more about my car, what it is, and what the plans are for it. There's not really going to be many videos about it. It's just going to be more about general maintenance of the car, the small little mods I do, as well as I'm going to do a practical daily review. So I'm actually going to review this car as if this was like a daily car to drive, because it is really, really, really practical. And it's definitely overlooked in the used car market as well. So I'll get back to you on that one.